that old saying that we hear, teachers teach as they were taught. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yes, yeah, that's good. Okay, 1, 2.
I'm working on Japanese language, and as Professor Richard Day said, there are fewer studies in languages other than English. So I have a request to you all. If you have any colleagues who teach and or research Japanese or any other language other than English, please talk about extensive reading to them. Thank you.
Let me put in a plug for the Reading in a Foreign Language Journal. Have you all heard of that? Reading in a Foreign Language Journal? Okay. RFL. I'm a co-editor, and it's on the internet, free scholarly refereed journal. And right now we are having a special issue. We're collecting manuscripts for this. Go to our website, check it out, and it's going to be the uncommonly taught languages. That means languages other than English, French, German, and Spanish. Yeah. And Neil Anderson of BYU, Provo, Utah, is the editor for that special issue. That's Reading in a Foreign Language. End of commercial push. Yeah.
Hello, I'd like to say, before I came here, I was a complete newbie about extensive reading, and I'm very glad that several people pushed me to come here, because it's been a real eye-opener. I don't have the background, but I've had a lot of experience. I've taught 3 languages, Japanese, French, English, from levels from university down to little kids, so I've had a lot of practical experience. And I think one of the things we're dancing around that we have to reconcile is that we're not talking about really a pedagogic methodology so much as a lifelong learning skill or strategy. And I think part of the reason why we say, the surveys and the research isn't long-term enough, because it's longer than a school year. Learning isn't limited to a 15-week term, and it's not really a class thing. Are these 30 kids going to learn from extensive reading? Is each one of these kids going to be set afire towards reading? So I think there has to be a way for the research and for the practice to address this disparity between what we're doing is not another educational silver bullet. Oh, we got the Korean English teaching robot by 2018 it's going to replace. Or in Japan, we got a new type of test that's going to help all the kids, but we're not going to change anything. We're just going to top down and add another thing. What we're trying to do is we're trying to change the mindset more than just another methodology. And it's such a long-term thing, and it's so hard to measure. What do you gentlemen think about bridging that gap and attacking that disparity?
Thank you.
I think that reminds me of what I discussed about introducing extensive reading as somewhat the changes being made by like Tiger Moms. It's part of a kind of civic movement rather than so much coming from calls by teachers and pedagogists. I think one of the things in the sectors of Korean society, basically you probably heard about this DEAR project, like drop everything and read. In conjunction with the local district levels, they called for some sort of sponsorship for this project, and especially those rural areas where they don't have access to books, they supply English library, and there basically the whole school and families get together and they get orientation and do this kind of reading, kind of led by some volunteers, native speakers, sometimes English teachers locally. So that's basically the sponsorship coming from either local banks or district offices or some other companies in the district. That's now starting here and there. We'll see. That can evolve into something interesting, more long-lasting, sort of part of lifelong education.
Well, I think it's very interesting that it's coming from outside the education industry, because it is the industry. And I think it's the people, the mothers who are going to be dissatisfied with the way that children's education is going, who we can, kind of bring in as grassroots supporters of this.
Yeah. I mean, looking back, history of education, not so much changes being made by teachers. Most changes somehow made and instigated by outside education.
Yeah, good observation. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Good. Okay, we got about 3 more minutes to go. Yes, Mark?
I just wanted to make a quick comment about change. And about 13, 14 years ago, Rob Waring edited a special issue of JOLT Language Teacher on extensive reading. That was followed by a colloquium at JOLT that year. And these things have, extensive reading has just been booming in Japan. Starting small back then, and I do know that, I don't do readers, but I am involved in publishing, and the publishing companies usually count on they figure 20% of the titles generate 80% of revenue. Okay, so that's why you see them pushing the big books. I know at least one of the big 4 publishers in Japan last year, for the first time, had their biggest cash flow, not from a course book, but from graded readers. And that is a huge change within publishing, reflecting a bottom-up growth on the part of us as teachers by doing it. So I would say, yeah, change is slow, but change is happening, and change is visible. And I think that is something to celebrate. Rob started it.
Times are changing.
97. Can I just say thank you to you guys, and especially one person who's really helped ER in Korea, Rob Waring, reached out to people in Korea a few years ago, and basically now even the biggest Korean after-school institute chains have pages about extensive reading in their brochures. 3 years ago I was at a conference and I talked about extensive reading to one of these people from an institute chain, and they said, oh yes, whatever, and went on. The same chain now has 3 pages in their glossy brochure, including extensive reading. The word extensive reading is in the mainstream press, and I think people sitting on the stage, Rob Waring, I think we owe a huge debt of gratitude to the people that really pushed that. It's really compelling. It's why I'm still involved in this industry, because I tried to teach and I realized that it doesn't work. Most 90% of all the pedagogy in language teaching and English education just doesn't work. And when I saw Rob Waring's talk at Kotisol, I was like, this has to happen. So Rob and everybody, thank you for inspiring a whole bunch of teachers. I think I speak for everybody here, and all the unsung heroes amongst us who've helped change the movement. And if you're interested, get involved, meet up with people, ask Rob how you can help out. That's what I did. Dr. Kim is making huge changes in Korea as well, because we're really motivated to make that change. So thank you again, everybody. It's amazing to be here. I think I want to stop talking now.
Okay, why don't we end on this note and go for the raffle.